What's up, everybody? Weekly Word, episode 126. We're coming up on our 3-year anniversary here next week, February 4th, actually, so a little bit more than a week of the Weekly Word. And gives me a chance to kind of look back, and it's kind of ironic that today I got across my Facebook news feed was Counting Crows, Adam Duritz came out with a new song, August and Everything After. And it's actually not a new song, it's an old song. It's one he started writing back when they were doing the album of August and Everything After. In fact, if you look at the cover of August and Everything After, the words to that song are actually on the album. And it never even made it to the album. There's a whole story behind that. But in his interview about it, he talks about filter. And filter is the weekly word today, because what he said in it is that all of his old songs, when he wrote them, the words meant something in that moment. And it meant how he was feeling in that moment. And it reminded me of the weekly word instantly, because every time I do these weekly words, they're not thought through. They're just executed against. It's what I'm feeling in that moment and how I feel about that. And I've had a chance to kind of look back on some of the weekly words, and every one of them still resonates true when I listen to them. But what's interesting, and what Adam said, is that the words of his song and the way that he takes those words when he performs them, for the past 25 years, is it's like he puts them through the filter of today. Filter being the weekly word of saying to yourself, how am I going to basically make today better than yesterday? And the only real way that you can do that, I think, is if you filter what you are receiving through a positive lens, through a lens of goodness, through a lens of acceptance, through a lens of just realizing that the things that are going to hit you, they can come through and they can hit you and they can hurt and they can be bad and they can be negative. Or if you filter them, meaning you have a mindset that is in place today based on all your experiences, that you'll be able to actually turn those experiences of today and tomorrow into good things, into acceptable, and even if they are horrible, a car wreck, man, there's nothing good about a car wreck, right? But actually, maybe there is some good about a car wreck. Assuming you live, right, to see the next day, or the people that you're in the car wreck with live, and the people that are in the other car live. Assuming life goes on, like something good came out of the car wreck in the sense that you didn't die, and that might strike some of you really, really, really raw, and it might hurt, but it's all how you choose to think through it. I have a friend who was in a car wreck. It was no fault of his whatsoever, but he was in a car wreck, and it completely changed his life. And some would say that his life is worse than it was before the car wreck. But if you filter and you look through it in a way that says, you know what, because of the car wreck, that young man is now making impacts every single day on anybody he sees, anybody he meets, anybody around him. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, that if you choose to look through things and assess things through a filter of goodness, suddenly the negatives drift away and all these positives combine. And when they combine, they get to a point where they compound and the momentum gets real and it's unstoppable force of goodness. So it's all about how you look at things. It's all about how you put those things through the filter.